A digital archive for artists is now more important than it's ever been. Even just traditional archives have always been important, but now that we can actually digitize a lot of things, this can become a really powerful tool for artists, and I think it's well worth your time. So anyway, let's kind of head into this. I'm not talking about something like Instagram, and I'm not talking about something like Facebook or your phone. And I know a lot of people think, oh, my phone's my sketchbook. And that sounds really great, but it's kind of a silly thing, because the trouble with photos on your phone as your sketchbook is you can't really do much else than just kind of flip through pictures. And I think we all spend way too much time kind of doom scrolling on our phones as it is. So let's talk about exactly what I'm talking about, and let me kind of lay out some cases why I think it's a really good idea, something you can use, and something you can use that's also private. You know, that's like the downside of using like Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. You know, eventually all this stuff is kind of owned by other people, if you know what I mean. That site goes down, you get banned for whatever reason, you say something bad about the current political climate or what have you, and who knows what happens, right? So let's kind of narrow this in a little bit, and I'll talk about exactly what I do. I have two different archives right now, and they all run off the same program, and accessing one versus the other is literally clicking a word in my program. I use a program called DigiKam. It's open source, it's free, it works on all platforms. It allows you to bring in photographs, bring in movies. You can apply meta information, you can apply just contextual information, titles. You have the full range over what you want to do with your images inside of it. And what's really great about adding all the meta information, you can literally set up, you know, color, place, painting, drawing, whatever. You know, all the little granular details, like, oh, I know I did a drawing like this, I don't know, 2003, 2004, boom, 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 there you go. You know, it's different than a sketchbook. And the trouble that we think about with sketchbooks is, oh, I'm putting it in my sketchbook, I'm always going to have it with me. Well, that's true until you start your next sketchbook, because I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school here. All of us, when we start a new sketchbook, we put our old sketchbook off to the side, and maybe we do like a special day where we go back and look through our old sketchbooks or something like that. But for the most part, once we're done with the sketchbook, it goes and sits on a shelf and we really never look at it. The nice thing about this is you can take a photograph of a sketchbook page or two, do it with your camera, drop it into your archive, add the keywords, add what it's about. And the next thing you know, you've got it forever, but more importantly, you've got it when you're going to look for an idea. And it's right there for you. And that part I think is really super powerful. Like I say, I use DigiKam, other people use other things. I have a friend, Lori, she forever has used Evernote. And Evernote's a really great, I think, kind of, and I might catch some shit for this, I think Evernote's really great for like the corporate side of things, but this is more for the creative side because it really works off of images. Yes, it can work off of text too, but it's really working off of images and allowing you to apply all the information to those images so they have really instant recall. And I think that's a really great way to go for a personal digital archive, if that makes sense. So, you know, like I say, I use DigiKam, it's free. I'm gonna load a few screenshots into this so you kind of see just how simple an interface it is, but it's not so simple that it's hard to use. It like basically you set up a directory in your computer and you say, read this directory, and it just scours the whole directory. All your information is read from it. You can add for it, you can refresh those directories, all that information is now there. So it's a real simple, real kind of intuitive piece to use. But more importantly, it's private. And I think that's the thing that, especially as creatives, wanting a private place to go look through this information is important to me. Now, you know, I'm an abstract painter, so I'm not doing anything about the body or sexuality or stuff like that. And if you were the kind of artist that was doing a lot of figurative work, you might have a need for, let's say, 50,000 photos of people kissing or whatever, because you were doing something in the style of Bouguereau or what have you. So you have that, and you have that privately. It's not like you have an Instagram page where everyone's kissing all the time, and then they get weirdly performative. You know, here you've got something you can go and look at it, you can kind of study it, you can take images, those images, make drawings from them, make preparatory work for other work. This kind of idea, this private archive that you control, it's super powerful. Now you still have to back it up because you don't want to lose this stuff, but backing up your home computer is something probably everybody does. I'm joking, I know not everyone does it, but you really should. And it's the kind of thing that now that it's private, it's simply yours. Put anything in it you want. You want your archive to be nothing but like pink fluffy bunnies? Great, whatever it is. Whatever's getting you from point A to point B or helps you get from point A to point B is really what should be in there. But as an artist, I use it for another reason, frankly, a far more important reason. I use it for documentation of my works. I use it for documentation of my shows. I use it for any kind of digital information I create for my work. So here's a great example. I just had a show in San Francisco, which is why this video took so long to come out. So before that, I had slides. I had JPEGs of all my work taken. I have those in my archive. I also have like the plan of the gallery and how they were looking to set up the work so I could have a say in it. I kept that in there. I literally made a folder named after this show. I put all this information in there. And that way, if I ever have questions about this show, I wonder what was in there. What did I show? Did I show my ceramics? Oh, I did. It was the very first time I showed my ceramics. How cool. Which ceramics did I show? Oh, I showed them this way. Fantastic. Suddenly I have all this kind of data that I don't have to really keep in memory so much, although it'll stay. But, it's there for you. It's laid out. You can search it. You can see what went where. If you have images and you sell those images, literally in the notes, painting sold, so-and-so gallery, so-and-so date. Great. You can always track it down that way. Or not track it down, but know where it went and whatever you need to do. But it's offering you this kind of huge world of information you can apply to an image. And then when you need to find it, it's simply a search tool. It simply is doing a search, going like red painting San Francisco, boom, and it comes up. Pretty great. So this is the thing I really think that's important about a personal archive, is what you can put into it, what you can take out of it, and that it's completely private. And I think privacy is an important part of the creative process these days. I think we do a lot of kind of public performative kind of stuff, hi YouTube, that kind of helps other artists and helps yourself as an artist go forward. At the same time, there is a lot to be said for privacy in your own creative headspace and where that goes. Like, I don't want to have a sketchbook that's kind of half performative because it's in Instagram and then half kind of personal but it's someplace else. That just seems weird to me. So here's the thing, get on this. Digital archive is a real simple thing to set up. It's a real super powerful tool. You practically have one already, I'm guessing, because you've probably had a show or two, you've been in a group show, you've taken photos of your works. So you have this stuff kind of floating around on your computer or in your phone or wherever. Get it into one folder, make some heads or tails out of it, organize it, and have yourself an archive that you can really use as a powerful way to use your time. And here's the thing about a digital archive. It's a far better way to use your time than just doom scrolling on your phone. I'm going to be doing a few videos over the next few weeks over really kind of non-specific artist tools. And I hope you get something out of some of these. I think they're really kind of important and people don't really talk about them. But that's going to do it for me today. Like and subscribe if you can. Thanks for your time as always, and I'll see you next time.